Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome back to your daily dose of moderate to severe Crohn's disease. And today, I have something a little different. Instead of the typical gameplay footage, I think I have a treat for all you guys who are interested. Today, I have a good old-fashioned rant video for you guys. I'm talking about a rant on those people who just really annoy me. Those people who I'm sure that each and every one of you all know, and maybe in some point in time you've probably met one, maybe in high school or maybe in college, maybe in middle school. Doesn't really matter, but I think each and every one of us know at least one of these types of people, and I'm talking about Weeaboos, or Weebs for short. So it's a crazy story how or why I'm covering this is because I'm from Chicago, and I recently just went to a Japanese cultural exchange event in downtown Chicago. And the event itself would have been really awesome had it not been swarming in Weebs. I mean, like, it was an event that was hosted by the Cultural Exchange of Chicago. And there was different types of Japanese displays of calligraphy and kimonos and things like that. And it was just an awesome event for people who don't know much about Japanese culture. But however, 99% of the people who were there were Weebs. And it just really disappointed me because I was surrounded by these groups of people who, sure, they were probably there to learn more about Japanese culture, but I think that they were just there because it was free admission on an open house event and that they wanted to just be more surrounded by more weeb-related crap. And it just really pissed me off, to be completely honest. So I left that event early. Like, I left early, and I ended up going to Mitsuwa, which is it's a Japanese supermarket, but more like a mall in the Chicago area. And this place is absolutely huge. So there's Japanese food markets in there. It's actually a Japanese grocery store. There's a bookstore in there. There's an alcohol store in there. There's a DVD store, so a movie store. And sure enough, there was Weebs there too. And it's really just annoying because I'm really tired of these people kind of infiltrating on a culture that is actually my own and really giving people who are like me, who are American people who enjoy things of Japanese culture, like such as we like anime, or we like things like Japanese books. We like, the culture as a whole. And I don't mean to belittle the culture and narrow it down to such little things, but the culture is really big. So just to kind of keep it short, we do enjoy those things. And the Weeaboos, they really like undermine the entire value of the culture as a whole, and they make people like me look bad. So we're going to dive right into this video today, guys. I just wanted to touch a little bit on that backstory as to why I'm talking about this. But let's go ahead and dive into the video. For those who don't know, a weeb or a weeaboo is a non-Japanese person who basically denounces their own culture and calls themselves Japanese. They try to learn Japanese through anime that they watch and usually end up pronouncing Japanese words wrong and looking like a complete idiot. That's according to urbandictionary.com. And keep in mind that a non-Japanese person can like culture, watch anime, or speak the language, but the key here is to respect the culture while still keeping in touch with your own culture. So this is the reasons why Weeaboos are so annoying, is because they absolutely disrespect the culture by focusing in on one aspect of the culture and blowing it up and making the whole culture about that. Like, if we could think about that for a moment, it would be as if people thought that all Americans, which some people do, thought that all Americans acted like, for example, superheroes, like how Superman acts or how Batman acts. Could you imagine if people thought that that's how we talk to each other, that's how we conducted our language, that's how we conducted our day-to-day activities, we acted like superheroes? Could you imagine how stupid that would be? But that's kind of what Weeaboos do to Japanese people. They think that Japanese culture is all about anime and nothing else. So it's very annoying. So here are some reasons why I dislike Weeaboos and kind of try to stay away from those types of people. And primarily is because of cultural appropriation. Now, before you guys start hitting up the comment section going crazy, saying, oh, Neriku's talking about cultural appropriation, he's a leftist exposed. No. Let's talk about that for a second. What I mean by that is that there is a such thing as cultural appropriation. I have no problems with people adapting hip-hop culture or black people culture. That's fine. But what I'm talking about is people completely adapting a culture that's not their own and trying to take it for themselves and completely disbanding their own culture. So like completely ignoring their own culture. So for example, if you're Caucasian, if you're white and you like rap music, that's fantastic. But don't Malibu Most Wanted me. Okay, so it's the same thing with Weeaboos. They are doing Malibu's Most Wanted, but they're doing it for Japanese culture. Like they literally think that they're Japanese. It's some type of like dysphoric. It's almost like being like living in a fantasy land where you think that you are Japanese, or you think that you relate more to Japanese people or Japanese culture than your own culture. So you just think that you are what you say you are. So, and that's not the case. So that's my problem. Number one. Another problem I have is that they have a genuine disrespect and racism towards an actual Japanese culture. So what I mean by that is not necessarily that they are racist in the sense that they don't like the culture, but they're racist in the sense that they don't get the opportunity, or they don't give the opportunity to learn about the culture completely. Like they rather not immerse themselves in the culture and learn about the culture and learn about how Japanese people truly are. Instead, they rather focus in on one particular point of Japanese culture and blow it up. Another thing that you can that you would know about Weeaboos, and what I don't like about them, is they have like really cringy personalities. Like if you ever like speak to one, if they will speak to you, they have a very, very weird cringy type personality. They're very to themselves and introverted, but then when they get a chance to talk, they're kind of annoying and over the top, and it's just the best word I can use to describe is annoying. So just think about that for a second. Cringy personalities. And they give me and other people who actually enjoy anime, or who actually are part Japanese, really bad names, because we end up being like kind of sifted into the same category with these people. And I'll talk a little bit more on that later. Then I think the final reason why I dislike Weeaboos is because when they mature, or they grow up, they become either leftist, SJW, or feminist. If you think about it like this, the Weeaboo stage is going to be more like the lava or pupa stage of them in their formation. But then when those bitches grow up to become butterflies, they get even worse, you know? And they become SJWs, feminists, or leftists because they feel like they've been mistreated by society, and they need to make up for it somehow. They've been cast out and left out of things like dating or social contact or actual real life experiences. So instead of drawing an obvious conclusion such as, hey, you know, I'm weird, I need to change, they tend to blame the rest of the world for their problems. They throw labels on Western society such as like sexism, transphobia, fat phobia, and racism. And they don't really tend to blame themselves for their failures in life. They pretty much project their own failures onto everyone else who isn't like them, or i.e. normal people. They don't want to be like normal people. I'm not saying people have to change, but what I'm saying is they don't want to become a normie or a casual. So they tend to blame everyone else. Unless you're like them, unless you're weird like them, then, you know, it's your fault that they're being discriminated against or something like that. And it's just complete garbage. So I managed to get some of the most popular traits of Weeaboos and list them here for you guys. They're not in any particular order. There's no numbers or anything like that, but I'm just going to run through them really quick just so you guys can kind of get a whole entire feel of what a Weeaboo is and how to spot one in the wild. So typically you'll see that Weeaboos are artsy. So when you're in high school, or maybe you're in middle school, or even when you're in college or in adult life, adult Weeaboo is not uncommon, but you'll typically see these people, they're more of the artsy type. They typically frequent art events or creative events, anime club, art club, drama, and video game clubs. They typically try to stick around those things that they love and they like, and they want to base their whole life off of those things, and they try to stay away from any other events. Like you probably wouldn't see a Weeaboo engineer or a Weeaboo doctor. Oh, could you imagine if you did? You might see one pretending to be, but you won't actually see one like for real. You know, you won't see a Weeaboo who's a tax attorney, or you won't see a Weeaboo, you know, delivering mail. You know, instead you'll probably see him working at a GameStop, or you might catch a Weeaboo working at an anime store or a Suncoast. Are they even Suncoast anymore? I don't even know. But like that, you'll see him kind of like, you know, maybe at like a Fun in Motion or something. I don't know. What's the DVD store? Not a disc replay. There's not FYE. Yeah, so you might catch a Weeaboo working like a FYE, or maybe like a Hot Topic or something, or even like a Spencer's, but you will never catch him like, you know, in the wild, like, you know, interacting with real people and like having like I'm not necessarily saying a real job, but you won't see him having a job where they actually have to talk to people. Let's be real here. Another trait of Weeaboo is that they're socially inept. So like they don't really understand social cues. They're very awkward people to be around. They speak very weirdly, if they speak at all. And when they do speak, you can find them speaking in like an overarching English dub anime style voice. So something like that. They speak very quickly, and I already know I talk quickly, but it's not in the same way. They typically mash their sentences together, which is a technique that is done in English dubbed anime in order to make the sentence fit the phrasing or the mouth movements of the actual original raw version of the anime. So you'll hear them say something like, and oh my god, I was on the way to the store, and when I was on the store, I went to this and I did that, and it was so awesome. And it was like, oh my god, awesome. So that's how they talk. And if you ever hang around those guys or see the way they are, it's just so cringy, like, to be around it. They like to imitate Japanese onomatopoeia as well. So like they'll say things like nya, which is like the sound that Japanese people say that cats make. So you'll hear them like end words with nyan. Like, could you imagine that? Or these are the people who are what are those trans animal people? You know, people who like identify as cats and stuff. Yeah, okay, so here's the word for it. They're otherkin. You know, otherkin. That's the word. Otherkin. So people who like identify as non-human people. So like they identify as like dogs, cats, dragons, wolves. You know, you name it, they identify as that. Those, you'll find those people, and they'll often be weeaboos. They're also furries and stuff too. And oh my god, these people are so weird. I can't deal with it. Let me just get through this list before I lose any more brain cells here. So anyways, they like to zoom into one particular aspect of Japanese language as well. So like, for example, in Naruto, if you guys have watched Naruto, he says datebayo in Japanese, in the Japanese version, and I think for some reason they translated this to believe it in English. But anyways, like they'll say things like datebayo in English. So they'll be like, oh yeah, and the mail came today, datebayo, and I got myself my check from my job, datebayo, and yeah, in there I think I was cheated like 3-4 hours on my paycheck. Like, could you imagine talking to somebody who does that? Like, do you guys just stop for a second and be like, please stop it, get some help? Like, what the hell? Okay, so another aspect of Weeaboos are they have a very weird sense of fashion. This is unmistakable. Like, you can't mistake these people for emos or goths or even like rappers. So, like, you know how rappers will have this larger than life appearance, but no, Weeaboos take it a step further. They tend to draw unnecessary attention to themselves, primarily by the way that they dress, and they like to culturally appropriate Japanese fashion trends, but they do it in a very, very poor way, or they do it in poor taste. So what I mean by this is you can see like these just a prime example of this would be when I was actually at the cultural exchange event. There was a girl in full Lolita. Like, she was full Lolita, head top to bottom, full Lolita. And if you guys don't know what Lolitas are, they're pronounced Lolita in Japanese. Lolitas are these young girls who dress in Victorian style dresses and apparel. So like they have really lace covered dresses and, you know, high boots and heels, and they have the wireframes underneath their dresses, and they wear corsets, and they have the really nice umbrellas and things like that. Well, anyways, that's a trend in Japanese culture. In a way, Japanese are kind of appropriating, like, you know, Western style, but it's out of Western style. It's not really like within style anymore. It's a style that's from the Victorian age. So like, think back to like Queen Elizabeth and, you know, whatever. Think more about to that kind of stuff. And anyways, so these American girls are culturally appropriating what the Japanese girls are culturally appropriating. So they're copying a copy, and they look ridiculous. Not because of the fact that a Lolita style is ridiculous, because it kind of is, but more so because you're completely out of place and no one has any idea what kind of fashion statement you're trying to make. I'm not saying fashion is everything, but you look a fucking mess. Like, stop it. Ugh. You can also see people do this with the way they dress, weeaboos, when you see guys wear kimono. You'll see them wear like a gi, or you'll see guys, you know, wear other martial art gear, you know, in public, or they'll carry around a freaking sword or a practice sword. Have you ever seen those guys do that? They'll carry around a practice sword, or they'll wear like a full Naruto jumpsuit and run down the street. It's like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you were so weird. It's cringy. You'll see these guys. They wear martial arts gear or headbands, and they're covered in kanji. You know, they'll be wearing the headband like Daniel-san, but just much gayer. And that's saying a lot, because Daniel-san was pretty gay, you know, when you think about it. You know, like, hang out with an old man in my spare time and show you all moves that senpai taught me kind of gay. Like, that kind of gay. He was really gay. But they look even gayer because it's completely out of place. It's no longer the 80s and 90s. You can't get away with dressing this way, okay? It's ridiculous. So speaking of headbands, you can spot a weeb really easy by checking to see if they're sporting one of those Naruto style headbands. You know what I'm talking about? They'll be wearing it on their forehead or on their arm, or they'll kind of like weird kind of Kaka Sensei style over one eye, just begging for the opportunity, you know, for you to cross them wrong so they can unleash their Mangekyo Sharingan on you. You know what I'm talking about? Like those guys. And those are definitely weeps. Like there's no getting around that, you know. And I know, guys, it's really weird for you guys to hear me talk about these people. It's probably one of the first videos I've actually done like this. But to be completely honest, I don't really hate them. I just kind of hate how they are, you know. They're a disgrace to the intellect of all Westerners and Americans. These are the people who would more likely travel, you know, actually travel to Japan. And can you imagine that? These people, Weeaboos, are the ones that will meet and speak to Japanese people, and they will interact with these people. And Japanese people will then dictate their opinions of Americans based on Weeaboos. So if you imagine for a second how awkward and weird Weeaboos are, and they think that, oh my God, if I go to Japan, I'll finally be accepted. And they go to Japan, which is a very inclusive nation, but they're not really open to meeting new people. But when they do, and they meet these Weeaboo people, they're not accepted. Or they go and they meet these Weeaboo people and they draw conclusions based on American culture, then that's very frustrating to me.
Parents in Florence on alert after a middle school student creates what's called a death list. Thanks for choosing us. I'm Katie Rammel. Steve has the night off. We want to start by assuring you school officials say this student had no way to carry out his wishes, but nonetheless, it's disturbing. ABC 15's Mary Ellen Resendez explains what was found and how school officials were tipped off.
Thank God that it got caught.
A sigh of relief from parents after middle school students at Anthem K-8 in Florence alert teachers to a fellow student's troubling text message.
He was threatening suicide. He didn't get graphic about how he was planning to do it, but he did appear to have a plan.
School administrators didn't find any weapons on the student, but they did find this book.
It's a book called Death Note. It's kind of a Japanese-style comic book that is very dark.
The book talks about, quote, suicide as a valid cause of death. With it, a journal of sorts, also titled Death Note. Inside, a passage saying, the human whose names is written in this note shall die. And behind those pages, a list of students' names.
It's like a witch's spell. If you write their name in here, some harm will come to them. There was no specific threat. There was no specific, I'm going to harm them.
School officials say over the weekend, the students' parents did see some warning signs, and it actually kept him out of school for a few days.
And it's in part because I'm actually part Japanese, and my Oba-sama, God bless her heart, was born and raised in Yokohama. You know, she became an immigrant and she came to America when she was 18. And I don't want to be associated with those kind of people, you know. If I can be really honest here for a moment, I was associated with those people in high school, not because I was a weeaboo, but because people knew that I liked anime. People knew that I liked manga. So I would draw in class after I got done with my schoolwork or whatever, and people would think, oh, you're one of those, or, you know, he's one of those guys, you know. And it was a very strange place for me because I played football when I was in high school. I was in art club. I played guitar. I was like in a lot of different things at one time. So it was really, really annoying for me to be associated with that level of cringe. You know, just that don't associate me with them. You know, I'm actually part Japanese. I can't appropriate my own culture. Stop it. You know, and I'm not as obsessed with Japanese culture as these people are. So just think about it for a second. You don't really want to be associated with those types of people. Like, could you imagine if, for a moment, if someone was more obsessed with your culture than you were, how awkward that feels? Or someone, you know, tried to tell you about your own culture. It's like, no, that's not how that works. Or when someone pronounces something wrong, for all my Spanish speakers out there, for anyone who actually speaks Spanish, like if someone pronounces something wrong in Spanish, like doesn't that ring wrong in your ears, or like it kind of pisses you off a little bit? Or for anyone else who speaks any other language, when someone pronounces something wrong, although they could be trying, but a lot of times it comes off as being racist or kind of insensitive or even just plain annoying or offensive. It's the same thing. I really hate it. Please stop it. Well, anyways, that's it for me, guys. That's my rant on Weeaboos. Hopefully, this brand of people would be just limited to my generation, will no longer continue to commit these crimes against humanity. And hopefully, I'll avoid any instances of seeing Weeaboos at a later time. So no more Japanese culture exchange events for me for at least the time being, at least when I'm in the Midwest. No more of those events. Maybe if I was on the East Coast, or even on the West Coast, away from here, I could probably deal with a Japanese culture exchange event where there's actually Japanese people there. So, did I miss anything about Weeaboos? Do you like this new video format? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're a Weeaboo, just go ahead and hit that dislike button. I don't care. I already gave you moderate to severe Crohn's disease at the beginning of the video, so you're welcome. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.